You're listening to Out of Office, the travel podcast.
Your go-to podcast for all things travel. And welcome to Out of Office.
A podcast, finally.
Welcome to episode 3 of Out of Office, the travel podcast. I just really wanted to say it.
You just want to say it. Episode 3.
It's episode 3.
Episode 3.
Tree. Episode 3 of Out of Office, a travel podcast. And we actually made it to episode.
We did, and we have some very exciting news.
Yes. Out of Office will be...
Out of Office!
Jesus, you've been waiting to say that.
I'm excited.
Out of Office will be Out of Office.
No, that's pretty cool.
And you know, it's so cool. Me and Laurie, we're both traveling to different destinations, but...
on the same time.
Literally, wow.
I know, should we tell them where we're going, or should we, surprise them?
I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
I'm going to South Africa.
Wow, Jesus.
So,
wow, okay, wow.
I'm very excited about this, guys. Everyone knew that South Korea was essentially the plan. But,
the last time you said you was crying, remember?
I didn't.
I remember. I don't know if you remember, but I definitely remember.
My feelings were hurt. But.
By whom?
South Korean.
That's what I thought.
I guess. But now we're going to South Africa. Very excited. Going to be there for 2 weeks. Cape Town and Johannesburg.
That's cool. And Namibia. I can't pronounce that word.
Namibia?
There we go.
Maybe.
You should do that too.
Maybe.
I am going to the lonely Isle of London, bruv. Going to London.
In it?
I'm going in it. No, I'm doing London and Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. So
she's going to be lit, y'all.
I'm getting excited.
She's going to be lit. If you don't have a green Guinness, I disown you.
Wait, they have green Guinness?
No. But definitely they have green pints available for St. Patty's Day.
Meanwhile, the only type of Guinness that I really drink on a normal basis is Guinness Smooth.
They have that though.
Oh, so they have the Guinness Smooth, but I ain't gonna feel like
they have the headquarters.
I ain't gonna feel legit going to Ireland being like, give me a Guinness Smooth.
Go to the headquarters though.
Yeah, going to the storehouse, the Guinness storehouse, the factory. Yeah.
And that's the whole thing.
I doing that on Saturday. Because, Saturday is day drinking.
Day drinking. I mean,
Saturday,
any day is day drinking on vacation, though.
And Thursday, because it's St. Patrick's Day. And Friday, so every day.
Every day.
Every day. But anyway, so, episode 3 of Out of Office, the travel podcast. And we are talking today about how to plan a trip 101.
How to plan a trip 101.
So, we're breaking this up into 2 episodes, right? Because...
it's a lot of information.
Yeah, we just do a lot. We know when y'all listen to this, y'all gonna be like, if at some point in this podcast, y'all gonna be like, wow, then we didn't do our job. So, considering that we're both about to travel, L'Oreal, as the resident, first time traveling 2 years, would you like to start?
Oh my God, that hurts.
No, I mean, I'm so happy for you, dog.
That's insanity. So how... do we pick a place? How did I start? So okay. I have a bucket list, right? Mm-hmm. So clearly South Korea was on the top, but when I realized I couldn't go, I had to dip into my pockets and look for places, that I was interested in. The only problem with that is all of the restrictions and quarantine. So what I did for this particular trip is I did 2 lists, countries that I don't need a visa for.
Can I see your list? Do you... have it
on me?
You know it in your notes app. You lie.
I actually wrote this down. I was feeling connected. I had to put pen to paper.
You on a different level.
Okay.
I'm not.
I was distraught. Anyway, so I did a list of places that we don't need visas for, and then a list of places that didn't have quarantine. And then after a while, I had 5 places on. There was a few in South America, a few in Europe, and then South Africa was there, and I was like, girl, you wanted to go anyway. So that's how I pretty much started for this one. For normal, just everyday trips, I kind of figure out how I want to feel. Is this adventure, Lori? Is this, pampered Lori?
I was about to say, what's the other option? Is
this, we just doing food Lori? I have a lot of Loris in my Lori pocket. That sounds a little crazy. But anyway, my Lori pocket. Wow. But it really depends on my mood. That's how I choose,
So I don't choose based on my mood. I usually travel based on occasions. Right? Well, damn. So I didn't plan to travel for St. Patrick's Day this year from last year. I just was like, you know what? St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and I've never went to a festival. And I was like, Dom, go to St. Patrick's Day, babe.
Why not?
Yeah. So usually, most of my trips are not just around my birthday, but like something's happening. And so that's how I choose my trips. It's not always the best process because, you know, sometimes I just be like, dog, I want to go somewhere. But usually my trips will be like on a holiday weekend. And depending on how long that holiday weekend is, then I say, okay, I have this many days. Where can I go? But we going into that next. How many days do you decide to pick?
I should really start looking into like holiday weekends. I just like...
You don't travel on holiday weekends?
No, I just, whenever I feel like traveling, I'm like, I'm going this time. Boom.
No, ma'am.
That's what I do.
No, ma'am.
That's what I do.
I've
I
never
don't have
done
a lot
that.
of restrictions vacation-wise.
See, that's it. Yeah, no.
You know?
For people, like, for most of us who have, 10 days? Not me. But for those of us who have 10 days, right?
You have to use the...
You really have to enter... Like, let me tell you something. If you have 10 days, in January, when they say, okay, you need to separate your days and all that for vacation, I would be like, okay, so put one on the beginning and the end of every holiday weekend, every Friday and Monday, right? Sorry, every Thursday and Tuesday. Give me them too. And then I would plan everything else around that. But I know automatically every year I need to leave the Thursday before my birthday. Always. And it's so weird. I don't know where I started that from.
Hey, I've never done that.
You tried this year. That's what this
wild.
podcast for.
I just literally I'm very random though.
Living life.
No, I'm very random.
See, I trying to be organized. You just
I am an organized realm of chaos.
more chaos. Then.
At least I'll have
More
the
chaos.
ticket and hotel booked.
We'll get into that.
Whatever happens, happens.
But okay, so how then do you decide how many days you want to go away for? Don't tell me you just dog like Lori. Not all of us. Okay, so let me say how many days I said because you out here just a ball of fun and adventure, and some of us consider to HR. Okay, now for people like me, who I guess, and I need y'all to start traveling on holiday weekends, man. Like last year, I spent most of my holiday weekends going to a boyfriend. So I was, dog, I ready to wring his neck like a chicken.
Anyway,
I waste all them holiday weekends when I could have been traveling. So what I'm trying to say is, like, use your holiday weekends, babe. Use them, okay? When you decide how many days you want to travel, like I say, put one on the beginning, put one on the end. So you done got 5. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You back Monday afternoon? That's 5 days. You know you could go for 5 days?
You could go a lot of places,
Yeah. You could do Colombia. You could do Peru. I have a list.
Panama.
Most of South America,
Brazil,
you could do 5 days.
Chile. Go to Mexico.
Ma'am, are you here with us?
No, I was going through my head list. Sorry. But, okay. When I go away, I tend to go for 2 weeks, it seems.
L'Oreal, talk.
Let me explain why. Okay? Let me explain why. For people who know me personally, I travel for work. Okay? So a lot of times I just piggyback off of work travel and go where I need to go. Now, because I travel so much for work, when it's time for dedicated vacation time, I need 2 weeks.
I understand that.
I need 2 weeks.
But does it really work while you're traveling for work?
Yeah, because I turn
You know
off
what I
from
mean?
work.
Does it feel like work when you
yes.
travel for work?
Yes.
Okay.
You know those meetings?
Right.
Talking.
Oh my, and the beach.
I gotta be smart.
Oh my god, damn. However do you survive?
I gotta be smart and talk to people.
I cannot with you.
That must be a lot. But so what happens is, since I travel so much for work, I tend to have days in lieu, right? Plus my vacation days, plus holidays. So typically I just combine the days I'm owed with my vacation instead of using my holidays. And I also get my birthday off. My birthday is an automatic holiday every year. Big ups to my employer.
My birthday was to be a day off. Whether or not I had the day off.
It's nice to officially have it though.
Because dog,
written
running
up
with
in
me.
contract.
Running
Nice.
with me. I can travel on my birthday.
Whether
or not I get them days.
I'm typically somewhere for my birthday.
Yeah.
The last birthday trip, my birthday picture was in front of Stonehenge in 2019.
I recall that you were wearing red. You look very beautiful.
Stressed out. Anyway, 2020 and 2021 did not happen. But so for Dom, she does beginning and ending of holidays. For me, I'm kind of loosey-goosey with it. It's just whenever I feel the urge to travel, then I do some random stuff. Now, for how long are you willing to be on an airplane?
Okay, so my longest trip has been, on an airplane was about 12 hours in one sitting. I think I was to South Africa, so good luck. I almost lost my shiitake mushroom on that plane. But I will say, I could do up to, I think, like 15 hours because I go on with a game plan.
What's your game plan?
Sleep.
Okay, that's great.
But I was told the next time I go to take some pills and, just.
Really?
Yeah. But the problem is, like, sleeping pills don't work with me.
Neither.
Like, I've tried valerian root.
Wine does that.
And see, that's the thing. I don't drink while I'm traveling because I get very dehydrated. And I guess we'll talk about this when we talk about, what do you pack and everything. But, like, my game plan for, like, when I'm on long hauls is usually put together. Like, I do a bit of reading. I watch 1 or 2 movies because that's done 2 hours. If I watch 2 movies, that's 4 hours, right? So 4 hours down. Okay, good.
That makes me feel so disorganized, guys.
Do I? Because I'm disorganized in my real life.
Because I just exist, and I'm just like, whatever happens, happens today. You know?
I remember my first long haul trip. So we did Egypt, and I was traveling with 2 other women who had never traveled that long either. And we were so stupid. Like, we was on the plane and same room. We was like, okay, we could watch the same movie at the same time. We was like, okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah,
go.
y'all insane.
We was
y'all was doing crazy.
We were so excited.
Wow.
But no, I could do. I don't look at the amount of hours on a plane.
It really depends on how many days you're going for. Like if you only have 5 days, you're not trying to stay on a plane
no.
for a full day.
No.
So that's how people can gauge it early.
That is true, So I guess like when you're planning your trips, make sure that if you're trying to go away for 5 days, that you're not spending a day on a plane because you already cut down that time. And that also goes into planning. Like for me, you discussed this. When I plan how long I'm going away, I factor in, okay, 1 day for travel on the front end and the back end. So that's 2 days already off. That's only 3 days I have left if I'm going on holiday weekend. I got to go somewhere nice and juicy that weekend. So like Brazil.
That'd be nice.
Hey, I want to do a holiday weekend in South America anywhere. Like, close my eyes and pick.
Oh, wow. I do that, though.
Yeah.
But, same for me. I feel like if you only have 3 to 5 days, then your flight shouldn't exceed 4 hours.
Girl, that's long, too.
And I'm talking about, because, I mean, think about it. From Nassau to New York, that's 3 hours, right? If you trying to go to Toronto, that's still a nice trip.
Yeah.
That's going to be about 4 hours. So that's why I'm using that as a gauge. Like, you don't want to necessarily be like, let me go to Hawaii. On the plane.
No.
Because then that's couple well connects.
I feel stupid because that's exactly what I was trying to do.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to my people, Chelsea and Dan in Hawaii. I really was trying to go there this in March.
I feel like that's like a 7-day thing.
Yeah.
Well,
next time. But okay, so in terms of then how long, and since we're speaking about how long you plan to spend on a plane, let's talk about layovers, right? So layovers is like the hidden gem for me.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I take trips, I try to see how many destinations I can go to in one trip. I'm not going to do on a short 5 weekend. I'm not going to be like, oh, let me try to go to Istanbul too. No, baby, we ain't got that type of time, right? But if I have like a 2-week trip, I'll always look and be like, okay, well, where does this layover? And usually those places that are pretty far away, they have like a 18-hour, 20-hour layover.
Those long ones.
But Laurie and I were talking about this really, really cool person, the Points guy. Yeah. I don't know if it's just a him or if it's a team. I think it's a team. But shout out to the Points guy. He has this website basically that tells you the different airlines that let you do layovers, right? And it's pretty cool because, like, most of the airlines that we travel on, they let you add on extra places for no extra cost.
Yeah.
So, say they were, okay, so let's say you want to go from here to Egypt. Like, one of my friends, he's looking to go from here to Egypt, right? It stops in Jordan or something like, I think it was Jordan or Morocco, one of them, right? And he can extend his time in Morocco for no added cost.
That's beautiful.
Hey, that's 3 trips in one.
That's beautiful.
Like, so we have people, well, little tidbits like that help us out. That and Skyscanner. How often do you use Skyscanner?
Not often.
I used it once or twice. Like, I did a layover in Austria from South Africa.
I feel like I use Kayak. The kayak. There's this.
I
not
never
for
go on
booking.
kayak.
Not for booking. It's this anywhere thing where they show you the different prices for tickets from your destination. And I think they also do like a price freeze and like you can switch up different stuff. Like that's how I get like a kind of sense. But I've never actually
On kayak, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try it. I usually don't use kayak for travel.
I just use it as a tool.
Yeah. Oh, you know. Yeah.
No.
So, moving on then.
Okay.
So, we got to discuss how do you pick where you want to stay?
So we kind of touched on this last time, okay?
Lord. Oh, Lord.
Clearly, this is a hotel household. And by household,
This is an all
podcast.
hotels girl podcast.
We do hotels. I have oddly some strict rules when it comes to hotels, right?
Oh, Lord.
Now,
Oh, Lord.
I try to stay in only 4 and 5 star hotels.
Oh, baby. The girls are with
but
it.
not necessarily 4 and 5 star hotel cost. Okay, let's
I
get
get
straight.
it. As in, like, yes,
Don't get
I
me
would
mixed
like
up.
to stay by Eiffel Tower in a really nice place, but I don't want to pay more than $200
Exactly.
a night. No,
So,
the girls are there.
4 and 5 star hotels,
Mm-hmm.
I need them to typically have a gym, even though, let me tell you why. This is before I even start working out. Sometimes I just get very anxious,
Mm-hmm.
and I need something mindless to do.
Oh.
So I just go in there
I've never
and just
experienced a level of insanity.
walk.
I've never.
You know what? I don't know why you
I've
wait till
never-
we come here to tell me how much you hate me. I
I've
don't
never.
know. I don't
I know. And
I
the
don't
church said,
know.
yes, I just have to exercise all the
Actually,
food
that's
off.
because at 4 a.m. you going from the airport to a hot air balloon. So
Yeah, the Jew is really poor.
okay then, here we are.
And actually, at 4 a.m., I'm walking around Costa Rica.
Wow, that's
so mind
crazy.
your business. Okay?
But no, it's definitely a hotel for me. And then I like to look at highlights for that city.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of the time I want to stay in the heart of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to be
Close to
you
the
know,
attractions.
Yeah, like either
Yeah.
A short walk or a quick taxi ride.
Mm-hmm.
Like in South Africa, I'm staying in between Melrose and Sandton. Rose something. Anyway, two like
I hope
very
you're close to Sandton.
No, I'm in
Okay, good.
Sandton. It's two very like really poppin' spots, restaurants and stuff, and I'm like right in the middle.
Okay,
So
okay.
it really depends on what I'm trying to do every day.
Mm-hmm.
Then I pick it because if it's activities, then it's like wherever I have to go, I have to go.
Well, you know what's so crazy? When I did South Africa, I never once was like, let me stay near all the spots because guess what? Nothing is close together. Like, you will find yourself all the way up. I think it's called Hearts Beatport. And it's like 30, 40 minutes away and nothing is close together.
Jeez.
Yeah. You could do a lot of driving, but the good thing is they're a little cheapish over there.
Yeah, I saw the.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad.
So for me, I'm the same way. When I choose where I want to stay, I look at... So, like, for my upcoming trip, I'm like, okay, I want to be close to the queen because she doesn't colonize us. So let me check out while I'm there, right? So I'm staying, like, Kensington, which isn't super, super close, but it's close enough
Let me stay close to the queen.
to
girl.
our colonizer.
Girl.
Since she won. That's the least she could do.
I stick to you. So, okay, so you're staying in Kensington. Any other polls for that area for you?
No.
Okay, cool. You know.
My layover in London, and I guess this will speak to layovers, it was literally like a mishap. It was like, London is close. Why not go to London first? And I was like, I have the time, so why not go to London first? It wasn't like I've never been. This is my first time staying for more than a day in London.
Which is baffling.
I
to
never
me.
stayed more than a day. And this time when I go now, I'm like, okay, I could do the hop on, hop off bus tour.
love those.
I'm gonna do a gin making class because a girl loves loves to drink gin.
You love gin.
And London is a place for dry gin.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for me, I definitely pick where I want to stay based on what's close. In Ireland, am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm staying close to like downtown. But one of my nights, I stay in a castle.
This girl's staying in a castle.
Dog, I have this. If you could do it,
Why
the
not?
girls that get it, get it. The girls that get it, get it.
But no, okay, so that's important. And then reviews. Although I'm not like super like detailed with reviews.
I wouldn't know if a roach you can run across my foot.
But I do like to use either like for guest reviews, it has to be 4 stars and up, 4.5. And then if I see enough, like if your star rating as a hotel and your star rating as
Like how
from the
Expedians
guest,
do it.
I'd be
think
like,
they
okay,
slick.
Bodie is 4.5.
They think they slick.
That's why he's got to read with Expedia.
You know what I do? I just have a separate window open, and I type in the name of the hotel
Google,
to
yeah,
see
yeah.
what is the hotel actually rated, and then I look on Expedia because Expedia be like, this is a 4.5-star
But
hotel.
the thing is, if you go through your filters, you can like
Yeah, but sometimes
differentiate.
they still is sneak
I
in.
just be looking.
Girl, I just be like, y'all think y'all
I
slick.
just be like
This ain't no
that.
4.5.
Because I no hate to the 3-star hotels at all. They come in clutch sometimes.
It's a real hit or
but
miss sometimes.
yo, that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
you can have some great 3-star hotels, or you can go there and be like, "What the hell did I?"
I feel
book?"
like 4-star, and I hope this isn't me speaking from a place of privilege. I feel like 4-star is within most people's reach.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. A lot of people think 4 stars are like, oh, two
No,
something.
it's
Nah.
not. It's like $100 most
Nah,
times.
nah.
Not most, but it's between 75 to 150.
You can get.
And those are good, nice places.
I need to trust my hotel.
I need to know me and the road chair sleeping together.
We can't do that.
No.
I need to know, understand there's nothing leaking,
Or
because that's
mold.
really important. Mold. These people don't change their sheets. I know, like, people don't think of it offhand, but
Dog, I do. Because the last time I
do.
took off the whole top mattress, I was like, let me check the box spring.
gosh.
These people nasty.
Anyway,
These
so
people nasty, dog.
location,
Right.
reviews, and then how pretty it is.
I ain't gonna lie, like when I was taking mine, I was like, this looks like high afternoon tea.
I like pretty places.
I ain't gonna, like, I mean, who doesn't though?
I mean, some people.
When I pick certain places, you know what I do? I just look and see like if the room has character.
Yeah.
Like if it's all gray and black, I just be like, no, it could be a good price, but guess what? I might choose some place that costs $50 more because it have like a touch
Yeah.
of color,
Yeah.
some plants. I don't
I
really
like really pretty.
Yeah.
The lobbies actually is one of the biggest pulls for me. If you have a
Yeah.
boring lobby, I'm
And
like,
London has a
ah.
lot of really nice, like, extra. I get it.
And if you're
yeah.
artsy too,
Use one right
I'm
now.
there. I'm there. Your lobby looks like art just threw up all over it, then I'm there.
Yeah, you don't lie.
I'm
That
there.
it definitely helps in terms of picking.
It's the vibe for your trip, man.
Yeah. So you done pick your places.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you done pick your flights, right? You done pick how long you plan to travel for.
Mm-hmm.
So did we even speak to like you wanting to do? Yeah, we did layovers
Yeah.
because I know like sometimes I've never been in a mood where I'm like I have to go direct all the time. Most times I'm like I don't have a problem with a one stop. If it could take me too long to get there though, then I'm like
Yeah.
we taking too long.
For transatlantic flights or anything even down in the Caribbean, like super south, I expect a 1 stop.
Yeah.
Now when we get to 2 stops, I'm feeling a little.
Oh no, baby, I'm not doing 2 stops. I don't care where the hell we going.
I'm feeling a little. But then 2 stops is a great place if you can do your layovers.
Yeah.
Like you can make that the entire part of the trip. You can try it.
But that hardly
I'm not
ever
interested.
happens.
I just want people to have their options. I want them to have their options.
We all
Personally, I would stay, if I could, I'd stay on a flight for 18 hours straight. Vibes, no worries. I got my music. I got my Netflix downloaded episodes that I want to watch.
Or Prime Video.
Or Prime Video.
Prime Video's
I
not cheap.
never tried downloading Prime Video.
You're welcome.
I only ever do it with Netflix.
You could download it. Yeah, you could download it without things.
Netflix.
I do all of that because I download The Office before
Again?
do its thing.
Sometimes. But, I mean, I watch, like, I have a bunch of different things I watch. Typically, the last time I was traveling, legit, I was watching a bunch of anime. I know.
I don't watch anime a day in my life. Moving right along. So, how do you pick your activities?
Wow.
You still stuck in this anime thing?
That's crazy. I think you should just give it a little go. It's very entertaining. There's great storylines. But activities. Activities are dependent on where I'm traveling.
Okay.
Okay, so when I did France, Italy, and the Netherlands in 2019, I knew that I would be concentrating on arts and museums most of the time because that's where a lot of the great ones are.
France is the museum girl.
A lot of art galleries were in the Netherlands. Loved it.
Ask me if I saw any.
I need to go back though.
No, for real.
I need to go back.
I didn't go to the Anne Frank house. The one thing that
And that's
you
the
need
one place
to
I'm not
see.
interested in going. I
Wow.
sensitive, That's a lot of,
No, I'm
that's a lot
sensitive
of heavy
too.
vibes.
I really like heavy history stuff.
That's crazy.
So that means when you go
I
to
still going.
when you go to South Africa,
I'm
you're
going.
not going to
No,
do.
I'm going. I could just have
You
to
know
be
what
sad.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, the apartheid
Yep,
museum.
I'm gonna just have to be sad.
You know it could be
I'm
funny. They gonna mistake you for.
Hey! See? First of all,
They could think you're a blanc. You definitely could be a
I
blonde.
little palish right now. I get one time.
The
before
camera
I
says
go.
otherwise.
You know, I really hate your attitude so
It's
much.
okay. So
It depends on the country for me.
Right.
Like, I'm not interested in, like, going to, I don't know, Canada and being like, I need to do scuba diving. That doesn't make sense.
No.
You see what I mean?
No, yeah.
So it's really dependent on the country. And I feel like when you decide to pick a place, these things should come.
That's the first thing I think about.
Yeah, like think of what you're interested in doing, and
Yeah.
that will also dictate for your place. So when you start picking activities, you know you have a plethora of things to like go through.
No, I agree. Most times when I pick my place, I say to myself, like, what is the main thing that I want to do there? And then I decide, am I going? So that also ties into how I pick where I want to go.
Okay.
So, like, for me, it's like, if I go to Jordan, I have to do Petra.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main place I'm going. If I go to Egypt, I have to do the pyramids. So that's how I decide. It's really funny because that's how my brain has decided to separate places that I think I want to go and places that I don't want to go. Which is and I think that's why, for me, please don't stop me, Asia hasn't been high on my list. Because I haven't done a lot of research on Asia. I'll admit I don't know a lot of Asian history to the point for me to be like, I have to go and see this. Which is bad, eh?
Oh,
Listen, we in the middle of Black History Month.
my feelings.
Okay? I go
That's
to Africa.
fine. That's fine. I'm all for it. But I think whenever you decide to like look into it, you'll see that
It's a lot to do, I'm sure.
it's a lot to do, and a lot of people, I feel like on the Western Hemisphere, we look at Asia as a monolith, and we also think about East Asia more than anything else.
Yeah.
When that's not the case. India
Where's
is
India?
a part of Asia.
First of all, India is in my top 5.
Okay?
India is my
Thailand,
top 5.
Laos, like it's a whole lot of different countries with varied cultural practices
Yeah.
and cuisines. I think a lot of people, we just think Asia, China Japan,
yeah.
and I mean I get it. China, 1 billion population, Japan tied into a lot of video games, like they have a big representation in the West, so I get it.
It's so funny because I'm the complete opposite then, because I have places to go to in Asia that I really, really want to go to see specific things. Like India's in my top 3,
Okay.
not even top 5. India, Nepal, because I really, really want to do Mount Everest base camp. Like, no, dog, I'm going to do that by next year. You
Put me as an asterisk there. Maybe
it could take 9 days, but I could do it. And it's only the base.
Yeah.
I know it sounds like a lot, but I had a friend.
I'm trying to go further than the base.
I had a friend that I met in Egypt. She did base camp, and it took her 9 days. And I was like, that's some amazing stuff. So, Nepal, India. I want to do Thailand because I love Thai food. Like, I love Thai food.
And they have beautiful architecture.
Bali hasn't been that high on my list because it
Too
just
beachy.
seems so...
Reminds
It
me
seems
of
so
home.
influencer-ish. And I'm like...
Yes, that's really just the vibe people put out there. But I try to stay away from any destination that reminds me of home. So Maldives is out. Anything beachy, touristy.
Well, I will say, like, I always said, okay, when I do, because, and I guess there's another part we could tap on. Like, when I plan out my trips, right, I have, especially for my birthday, I always do the adventure component. And then the day after my birthday, I'm like, okay, so this is the relaxation part. And I always choose a relaxation place. So for me, like, when I did Kenya, I did Zanzibar as relaxation. So I would do Australia and New Zealand, and then the Fiji Islands as relaxation. Yeah. So, I mean...
You're so compartmental. I'm just like, I pick a destination. I'm like, what are we going to do today?
No, they like
I'd roll out of bed.
I did. Like,
do you know how I did the
organize-ish?
I was in my room in Paddington, okay, laying down, watching some Netflix, eating some Indian food, which is oddly very good in
so
London.
I was told. So
very strange, but it slapped. And I was like, yo, let's do something tomorrow. And I just went on Google. It wasn't even anything serious. And it was like, Stonehenge tour. And I was like, bet, book. And then I had to be up for 6 a.m.
No, you live in life on the edge.
That is how I travel.
I can't live like
that.
that.
I have a very loose itinerary.
It's
so
not
like
in me.
I know there are certain things I want to do. Like when I was in London, I knew I wanted to do Buckingham Palace. I knew I wanted to do Tower Bridge. I knew I wanted to see London Eye.
The thing that I like about Buckingham though is like you just walk to it and stand outside.
That's it. It was there for I was there for a solid 30 seconds. I was like,
take a picture.
This is nice. And then I left. And then I left. But, I realized, like, even talking about how we're planning stuff, Dom and I, we travel very differently.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever go on a trip with her, I'm just going to be like, you plan it. I'll just show up. Because she would lose her shit if she travels my way.
Like, I'm happy that you're like, I'll travel with Dawn because Laurie can't travel with you.
No, you can't. You will lose your mind.
Unless it's something like literally you say, okay, Dom, this is just a trip to relax.
Are you capable of that? Exactly. So back to the point, okay?
I am capable.
No, you're not.
But
I've heard your stories.
I just want to say, I'm looking right at the camera. I just want to say that anything you've heard about me is a lie. Okay? Hey, let's straight in the camera because dog. Also, no, for me, I don't have a problem taking a trip. Because since we're now talking about what we want to do, I'll take a trip like to New York. Like I've been to New York 2-3 times and I let somebody else decide we want to do.
So you didn't Google restaurants you definitely want to go to on certain days?
No. Okay, not really. I just told her that I had to go.
See?
I just told her there was one place that we really had to go to, and the good thing is she really wanted to go there too.
Okay.
But other than that, no, man. No, dog. Like, look how you rate me so low.
I rate you high, though. I rate you very high.
I like your eyes only read it so far.
I would let you plan a trip with me, which is like a big thing for me because No,
I get it.
I'm a very organic traveler. The thing is, I always get everything done, though.
That's good.
That's what's crazy.
I just was talking with a friend today, and he took a trip with a very close friend of his who planned out the whole trip, right? And when he went on the trip, it was other people. He was like, she didn't stick to anything on the itinerary.
So why make that?
And this is where the conversation came in, where I was like, you need to understand, and this is the part that I think we didn't map out. When you're choosing your travel tribe and people that you want to pick to travel with, be very intentional about it.
I don't like traveling with people.
Either.
I haven't been, quiet about that. I despise group travel.
Me either.
So like,
I've taken a girl trip before. It was nice, but I will always, and I know the girl who was supposed to go into Ireland, she probably listening. I did, sorry. But a part of me is like, because I'm not, like, I know who I am. And I think the main thing is to acknowledge how you are as a traveler. I know that I'm someone that, like, I want to be on time. I will be late and ass off for everything. But one thing I ain't going to be late for is the bus going to the Black Sand Beach.
No,
y'all ain't going to cause that.
No.
And I don't care if it isn't paid for yet. I'm not going to miss it. So when you're planning your trip, this is very, very important component that you need to add. Who you plan to travel with is important because they will make or break your trip.
Or just go solo.
Please.
I'm a big advocate.
I really want Black women to travel solo. Like, experience that freedom of not being tied down. And
I actually think you experience the destination on a deeper level.
Yes. Unless your phone got damaged in the Blue Lagoon on the first day.
Sounds
and you're
like
so
a
busy.
Story.
I regret that so much, L'Oreal. Like, that was the one trip where I was like, Dominique, why were you not more present in the moment? We getting dead deep. Let's move along. I ain't like that. Let's move along.
So booking activities, we have two travel styles. Dom is like, she's been nagging me, y'all, about having my activities booked for my trip coming up. And when I tell you,
it was not like, hey,
lovingly nagging.
Yeah, unloving push.
Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, I do. You book it yet? And then she's tell me things that I can't say on this podcast.
You just lying my name.
That's rude.
And my mommy probably listening. She's lying, mommy. I don't talk to people like that. You know that, mommy.
You lucky. You lucky. But no, so there are different styles. This can impact who you travel with or if you're traveling solo. There are a lot of different ways that you can find your activities. Remember to try to not look for like odd activities that does not represent your destination. Like I said, don't try to look for a bunch of scuba diving stuff in Canada. Doesn't make sense.
No.
Okay.
You go to Canada, go like hiking.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Yes, Canada's amazing for hiking.
You know.
There you go, British Columbia. We could do that.
We could do something like that. But so, like, if you go to certain areas, there's a plethora of resources online, and you just take your time, go through it, and then you're gonna definitely buck up on some activity companies, and that brings us to our next point.
I think L'Oreal is more experienced in this than I am because I don't really look at the companies as much. You know what I do? I look for that tag that says world's best and stuff on Viator. Viator has have it voted best in 2021, and I like that.
But
I
that's
like
the thing.
that.
That's if you look up activities XY destination, you're gonna find a lot of these listings, right? And I think when you see a top 10, top 15, top 5, it's worth it to go through that list.
Yeah.
And that's just to see the feel and what company names might
Use
come
travel
up,
blogs.
you know?
Travel blogs. These other people, like, they really just make it easy on your life. Like, if I type in, or you type in skydiving South Africa, I'm sure somebody would be like, top skydiving companies in South Africa.
So, Google is your friend. Make sure you use it.
Please.
When it comes to activity companies, there's 2 rules. 2 things I really like.
Tell me.
Book now, pay later. And
Yeah,
if you happen to book and pay in advance, full refund by certain date.
And cancellation.
And cancellation.
Yeah.
Super important. Other than that, I think activity companies are pretty much on equal footing.
I feel like I will preach this every podcast we have. Please, Jesus, use reserve now, pay later in the midst of a pandemic, because it is not guaranteed that you're going to take a trip. Like, I guess I'll do my shameless plug. As I plan my travel itineraries now, I tell persons, do not pay for your activities.
No.
Reserve now, pay later always, because it's really a lot to deal with.
Yeah, imagine something happens and now you out like $1,000 worth of activities and they're like, oh, sorry, no refunds, but you can rebook.
L'Oreal, I'll lose my shiitake mushroom in the middle of London. Right at Stonehenge.
I can't do it. That is not my thing. So, I mean, it's not really much pros and cons activity-wise. It's just, like, definitely, like, if you're on Viator, they're going to have a listing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Clearly, number 1 is the best.
Usually,
right?
yeah.
Typically, you'll see the star rating, how many people, and that's another thing to look out for. I think a lot of people neglect it. You might see 4 stars, but they might only have 5 reviews.
No,
so 4 stars, 5 reviews is not the same as a 4 stars, 495 reviews.
It's a big difference, darling.
Huge
Don't
difference.
mind that price.
Huge difference.
Don't mind that
Or
price.
even better if it's 5 stars with 5 reviews and 4.5 stars with 400 and something reviews. Go with
your common sense.
I was kind of but definitely like just pay attention to little things like that. Yeah. And it's important. I also like to have, if it's on the adventure side, I like to see people post about it. So I'd like look for their social media and like click on a platform for certain things. Like it has to be adventure though. Yeah. It's not like restaurants or simple tours. Yeah. I'm talking about,
I like to see like videos that the company would have on their website.
People excited.
Like when I was doing snowmobiling, I was like, let me see how it looked, like how
need to see how it looked.
And I was picturing
I was doing. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. You see how she just carry on with me, guys? Insanity,
girl. Insanity. Anyway, so moving on, then I guess this will be our last up because, like we said, this will be a 2-part series.
This is part 1.
So we are now moving on to how do you pack?
And Dom is really going to speak the most on this because, as you can see, I'm a loosey-goosey traveler.
I'm a packer. I'm going this week. God, please stop the spirit of procrastination. I'm going to make a reel that shows how I packed for a 12-day trip in a carry-on. And if y'all notice, I got a full face. So no, I'm not skipping the makeup. I'm not skipping the shoes. And I'm not skipping, I have locks, so I don't really do much with my hair. To a last amount of night straight. But, so in terms of how I pack, obviously you check the temperature first.
Big. Please check the temperature. Yeah. Don't go to these people country in a tank top when it's cold because only you could be shamed. Only you.
Well, unless I get shut up.
Please, because nothing he was about to say was going to make any kind of sense.
I mean, when I went to Iceland, I had on 3 layers of clothing.
That makes sense.
I wasn't playing with that. And all I could think is, at first I thought I was going to burn up. And then when I checked the weather, it said 39 degrees. And I was like, that's low.
39 ain't that bad.
But guess what? It was so bad because when I went snowmobiling, I got frostbitten on my neck.
Because you would the wind and then
there was a slight hole that got into my suit, and I was so happy that I had on a second layer of clothing because I might have been dead. They would have to leave me up by the glacier.
I'm gonna let you have that.
Because my mommy would have been like, she ain't paying for my body to come back to Nassau. She'd have been like, bury her right. I know my mommy dog. She'd be like, no, she won't go there and do foolishness.
Wow.
That's what human parents
I
is
don't
be.
think you was gonna be dead though, but you were gonna be in pain because frostbite is no
I might have
joke.
been the frost queen.
You know what? So search temperature ranges before you leave.
Please.
You know, it works on both ends. You don't
Yeah.
want to be dead warm, and then you pop up in the city and it's 80-something degrees.
I'd be hot. So, like, what
Literally.
You're so playful. You get your joke. You get your joke. Oh my God. So, what I do is, like, before a trip, because obviously I'm not planning the trip. Not obviously, but most times I don't plan my trips the month out. So, what I do is I go on Google with my little smart self, and I'm like, temperature in Iceland in November.
Mm-hmm.
It literally shows you the temperature in Iceland in November. Some websites even go as deep as to tell you like what certain days may be.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. So for like my upcoming trip, I know, okay, Ireland is very rainy. I should wear rain boots.
It's be cold rain.
I'm not going to wear rain boots because
YOLO.
those things are ugly.
Not
They
at all.
the Hunters one that I was looking at, they weren't like cute. So I said, okay, instead I'm gonna get Doc Martens.
Oh, did you buy them?
Yeah.
Of course you did. And you was on the phone talking about eye stuff. You know what? One thing about you, boy, you can lie to me.
I got them last night. Anyway, moving right along. So, okay, let's go through what you packed.
Mm-hmm. So,
Let's start off with your electronics. So, as a official partner of Solus Wi-Fi, I'm now an official partner. I have to let all of our listeners know about this amazing device called Solus that lets you get data anywhere in the world for as little as $7 a day.
Okay.
So basically what this is, it's a portable Wi-Fi device that can fit right in the palm of your hand. And you can connect up to about 5 to 10 devices per day, dog. And you can get data anywhere in the world. Mm-hmm. It's really, really, really cool. I'm going to be dropping a blog on it soon, so y'all can look out for that. But this is one of the main things that I have to carry. Second thing that you never need to leave home without is your converter. Because
don't get caught.
I don't know if a lot of you know, but I mean, obviously, you know, your first time traveling to an international city, you don't think about something like this, but the wall sockets are not the same. They're not. No. When you get in Egypt, the wall socket is not 2 prongs. It may be 2 prongs, but it's 2 different size prongs. So they have these things called international converters that basically, and you need to carry at least 2 to 3 of them. So I know Miniso Hair, they had them for like $5.
Yeah.
And they had the different converters for Europe, Asia, Africa, because every continent has...
South America would be a little
Every
different.
continent has a different size for the wall socket. And it's crazy. Like, you never would think about that as an international traveler.
Let me tell you how I got...
At least I didn't.
I got going from Germany to Scotland. I got. Yo. So I was like, I was aware. I was like, yo, you know, different plugs. My hotel in Berlin gave me, you know, converters. So I didn't worry. And I was like, I just have to get one before I get down to Scotland. Silly me in the airport in Berlin was like, this makes sense. Let me buy a converter. Get to Scotland. Not the right one.
And
so
also,
the United Kingdom, completely different.
If you wait until you get in the airport, newsflash, it's more
money.
expensive. Because I got one from a place that will not be called because I don't want to sully their name. But I paid about $40. And like I said, I got one for $5 from Miniso for $5. I got 4 of them.
Yeah.
Because I was like, these ain't nothing to play with. Right. So you should have those in terms of electronics, right? You should have your Wi-Fi device, like we mentioned, the Solus Wi-Fi device. Well, not should, but these are good things to have. You can also have something called an eSIM.
Yeah.
eSIMs is basically this new thing. Well, I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me. It's basically where you can travel with Wi-Fi on your phone in an app.
Yeah.
So Sprint, AT&T, a lot of companies do this instead of you having to purchase a travel SIM card.
And that's more me.
Yeah, cause
I love me a travel sim.
yeah, I've never purchased a travel SIM.
Right on Amazon.
I always do either eSIM or my Solus device, but I always carry my Solus device regardless of where I go.
I might give that a try for the next trip. But typically I get travel sims because I don't know if you notice. I mean, because our numbers are the same, when you're in the States, it doesn't really pose an issue. But a lot of times you need to like
call and
leave
stuff.
a phone number for something if you're doing something a little off the beaten track path. Or I like to be able just to like call people. And I kind of picked this up on the one group trip I've ever done.
Oh.
She's probably listening. I love you still.
She lied.
Never
She
again,
lied.
though. You know what I'm talking about. But it's fine. She let me, my one good friend, she wasn't weirded out when I was like, oh, y'all going to Belgium? I go to Italy. Like, if you can be okay with me, like, disappearing, then we can do this, you know?
No,
Because
I have no
I'm
problem
about
with
to disappear. I'm going to tell you that. But yeah, no, travel sims were really great. It helped us to keep in touch with one another. And I just really liked the fact that it made me feel like I was home, in a sense, where I could just, you know, pick up and go. Electronic converters, definitely. Cameras, please. If that's your thing, bring your camera with extra batteries.
Yeah. It's so many things that I think we need to include. But yeah.
And also something like, it's a personal thing. Some people don't need all these things.
No,
you know?
but me,
I
us,
do.
we different. We travel different because for me, I need Wi-Fi or better pyramids.
I need it all.
And that's so crazy. Like, I think of it now. On my first big trip, I was like, I need to make sure I have Wi-Fi everywhere. And I had Wi-Fi in the pyramid.
No.
Like, how?
Because you should.
Right. So, I guess this will kind of conclude episode.
For the first one.
Yeah, part 1. I think we jammed a lot into this one.
It's a lot of
this
information.
Is about, what, like 50 minutes almost?
Jesus. I hope this information was useful to you guys. If you have any questions, hit us up on social. We'll be happy to talk you through this.
No, for real. But we can touch a bit more in the second episode about what to pack.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Okay. A little bit before we get to the big parts. You know?
Because, girl.
Tune in for part 2 of
In 2 weeks.
Plan a Trip 101.
So you doing the podcast from?
I'll be in Johannesburg, maybe. I think, yeah. I'll be in Johannesburg.
Anyway, guys.
We'll link up.
Thank you so much for listening to Out of Office, a travel podcast. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Next episode.